All right, so let's apply some of that style to an image. What I've got here is I've got a file called rock.html. I'm going to open it. And all that really has it in is a heading, an image, and 2 paragraphs. And that image, by the way, is the image show.jpg, which is contained in this images folder. Let's have a closer look at that HTML as well. I'm going to go into a text editor here. What I've got here is all my normal HTML stuff. I've got the heading, a paragraph, the image itself, complete with width, height, and alt. And then I've got text in that paragraph, and I've got another paragraph below that. So one thing you might notice is that if we look at this image, well, it's a nice image, but the top of it is white, and it's not very well defined. So one way we can actually make that look a little better is, let's open this HTML again. What I can do is I can add a little border around that. I'm going to do that by selecting image and then defining my style as border. And I'm going to do the border of 1 pixel with a solid border and the color, and I'm going to choose not quite black, but something close to black. Let's say like pound 333. And again, if that's a new type of color to you, you might want to check out the fonts and color course in this same series, which explains all that. So now that I have that, I'm going to save. And let's reopen this up. And you'll see now what I've got is I've got a nice border around there. And that helps just to define that image. Now, I actually think that border, personally, looks a little darker than I'd want it to be. And so I'm going to actually make that a little brighter. Let's go with something more towards a light gray would be, for instance, a 777. Let's see how that looks. I like that better. It's a little more subtle, yet it defines that image. And of course, we could probably go lighter and be okay there as well. Now, I actually like how that looks, but let's take it a little further anyway, just to see how to use our properties. And I'm going to add some padding. And so let's add padding of, let's say, 20 pixels to that. I'm going to save. And now what you can see is we've got the image and its border there. That is its natural border. We've got some padding, and then we've got the border, the CSS border that we defined around it. Now, I don't personally like that look as much. You could see how you could really easily have, for instance, a Polaroid-like look around images if you added padding like that. The other thing I want to show you is that you can add color. And so the way we do that is we use our background color property, and we give it some color. I'm just going to give it something obnoxious, like a blue, to make it really show up. So if we go back here and reload, there we go. You can see that the background of the image itself is blue. The image itself, of course, sits on top of that, so you're not going to see the blue. But the padding, which is part of the image element, is transparent, and so we see blue through that. The last thing we can do is actually the margin. So rather than do that now, I'm going to come back and talk about that in a place that makes a little more sense. I'm going to talk about a concept called float in the next video.